Alright everyone, welcome to Euromachine's first YouTube video. This is going to be a speed paint video, and I'm going to take you through how I painted my pig boarding party for my Brunblood Marauders. The pig boarding party are the tiny pigs in Brownbloods, and these are the guys I'm talking about. They're sort of like the Marauder crew without the details. First off, the models have been airbrushed with a zenithal gray. This is not something you need to do, and I've actually quit doing it. I'm actually base coating the models black now, and I paint them or dry brush them in light gray, and then I dry brush them white, which is what I'm doing right now. You really want to do these dry brush kind of light, at least the white one, because it's going to be sort of a highlight dry brushed on the gray. The reason we're doing this is going to be made clear when we move on to the paints we're using for the skin and for, well, really everything except the metals. So I really enjoy painting these models, and the skin is going to be the paint Plasmatic Bolt from Army Painter 2.0. I love this paint so much. It sort of brings me the Troll Blood blue, but like Caribbean style, sort of a turquoise-ish variant. And I really like that Caribbean feel, since these are pirates after all. So I'm using this. As you can see, this is also why the dry brush is very important. You dry brush the outermost edges, and this paint, since it's a speed paint / contrast paint and so on, it's very see-through, and it's very liquid. Or do you say liquidy? And the highlights or the pre-shading that you've done through the dry brushes really comes out. I also want to apologize because sometimes I'm holding the model out of frame, which is really not my intent. That just sort of happened, and I promise to get better if I do more of these videos. So this is the paint I used for the skin on these models. Don't worry if you mess up and slabber a bit outside, like on the stones in the face and the arms and such. We'll get that touched up later before painting those. So the most important thing is to get things done. That's the most important thing with painting and playing these games. And I occasionally drop models, which is not that big a deal nowadays that they're resin. Metal models, it was worse. I also use a mouse pad, the Brunblood Marauder mouse pad. It's a massive mouse pad I custom ordered, and I paint on that, so dropping things really doesn't matter anymore. You can see me wiping off some paint with my fingers. That's usually if I slabber and mess something up. You can often remove it with a finger and just smudge it off. At least enough that the next paint will cover it. The Army Painter 2.0 line really is a nice line of paints. They changed their formula a lot from their first batch, and this is just wonderful to work with. You can see me using my finger a bit to fix things that I mess up. And don't worry too much about messing up, it happens all the time. The thing is, don't let it stop you from painting. Because if you mess something up and you feel like, shit, I have to go back and fix it and change it, and no, just don't care about it for now. See if it matters later. That's the most important thing. Here I'm also wiping off the stones in the arm, because if I cover them with this paint, I can just wipe them off with my finger, and they don't get any paint on them, except maybe in the bottom part. That doesn't matter too much, since they're all part of the skin anyway. These models are wonderful to work on. The Marauder crew, the bigger trolls, they have so many details, and these guys have 20-30% less detail, which is a lot. and it helps. It makes it so much easier. You'll also notice the next paint choices are going to be way speeded up, those videos, because I filmed this in regular video and then speeded it up, and the others I filmed in high speed video, so they're going to be really quick. We'll see if my narration even works alongside it. And they're done, ready for their next layers. Skin's done, maize yellow is next step. Pants, maize yellow. This is a wonderful yellow paint and it works so well over a dry brush. This is called the slap shot method nowadays, and it works very well. So Tyrian Navy is the choice for the bombs, because it's a dark blackish color, but it sort of gives you that little blue highlight, which is kind of cool. Purple Swarm, of course, used for the clothes and the bandanas. Purple and yellow, of course, being wonderful friends, and they really pop. I really like bright colors, so I like when things pop on the table. I usually say the model should look good a meter away. Noble Skin is used for the hats, the pirate hats. It's a very dark color, and it gives that sort of blackish, dirty down look. Here I'm also going over the stones again with white paint. I forgot to show the paint pot. But just regular white paint, any brand will do. And just touch up those stones and everything, or the hairs and stuff that you might have messed up before when doing the skin. Familiar Pink being my choice for the stones. I really like this palette of colors with the turquoise skin, the pink stones, and then the yellow and the purple. The turquoise skin and the yellow and the purple clothes. It works really well in my opinion. But you don't want too many paints, or too many colors at the same time. So what I'm doing here is using snakebite leather for all the leathers and belts and ropes and such. This is Citadel color, Citadel contrast, snakebite leather, and it's mixed 50-50 roughly with Speedpaint medium. Then of course the regular metal paint. This is Vallejo gunmetal. You can use any metal paint like P3's lead belcher, no P3's, what's it called? Pig iron works very well, or the Citadel lead belcher. It's just a regular metal paint, and I paint the whole sword, even the hilt and everything with it, because I'm going to be using Nasdreg yellow on those later. Satchel brown is used for the pouches and the bags, just so I get two nuances of brown. And here I'm also painting with Nasdreg yellow on the metals, so that the hilts become gold. They get sort of a dirty down gold. Next, it's time for the bases, and I'm using Gorguenta Fur from Citadel Contrast for the planks. These are all 3D painted inserts. I sort of want that beach vibe, so they're all like shipwrecked. It's all like parts of ships and boats and things. Forest Bright from Ari Painter is again used on the plants, and the skulls and everything and seashells were also touched up with white while doing the stones and the skin as well. And then I shade these with just non-oil, just to give them some sort of shade, because they do look a little flat otherwise. And it's time to paint the base itself. We're going to be using AK Interactive's Desert Sand, which is very nice, bright colored, and a very beach vibe. This is also very nice to work with. It's a big pot for a very cheap price, so I highly recommend these instead of using GW's like Sterling Mud and such. Check out AK Interactive, because they're like double the price, but you get like 10 or 20 times as much. But we all mess up when we do basing, so you need to go back to your black and fix the rims on the bases. I prefer black rims on all my models. It really gives them that nice framed look. And this is the last step of this painting tutorial. And oh no, it's not. Sorry, forgot. I also rusted up the gunmetal blades. I painted this all over the models. Sorry, all over the metal parts on the models, and then I let it dry for about a day, and then I just took my finger and sort of licked it and then just wiped off the rust where I didn't want it, because this paint, the dirty down rust, reactivates. So yeah, that's pretty much what I got so far. And yeah, these models are what I call battle ready. You can play them now, they look good. As you can see, this is just one layer of paint on every single part, close to anyway. So my goal was sort of to show that if you just dry brush and do your pre-shading, and dry brushing is very easy. It's like the easiest part of painting miniatures. If you do that properly, you can just use these contrast or speed paints, and it'll look very good on the table. And you'll be happy with the result. And they will look what we call battle ready, ready for the table. If I want to go back to these models, which I will, and maybe add some popping highlights, or I'm going to add some pigments to the bases, like beach pigments, to really get that dust effect, or maybe some water effect along the corners, like they're really running up on a beach. I can do that later. I don't have to do that now. So the first step is to get the army to this level, and then it's all done and playable, and then I can move on to the rest. If I want to detail it up, I can, but I don't have to. It's ready for battle. So yeah, that was my first video for speed painting. Thank you so much for watching, and please leave all the feedback you can. I want to get better at this. This was my first time. So yeah, thanks a lot.